Hello, friends. I am so excited about this. So apparently IGN dropped the ball at some point. They had seemingly scheduled this to go out today. Probably it was supposed to line up with anything that would be posted by Behavior Interactive on social media, but seems something went wrong, and we got gifted with this on YouTube and on their website. You can go check it out now. It might be taken down later, who knows. But basically, DBD's newest next killer is going to be Chucky and Tiffany. I'm really excited about this, so I just kind of wanted to go through kind of what we got going on with it. This is one of my favorite franchises, but in my head I always thought Chucky would play kind of like the twins, or maybe it's like Tiffany's carrying the Chucky doll around. But we did get the confirmation that Jennifer Tilly is voicing Tiffany and Brad Dourif is voicing Chucky. Very excited about that. The official release is November 28th. It is November 8th right now. The public test beta should be going up today. I believe so. Probably whenever Behavior announces it later, once they catch up on what just happened. He's a little guy. He's just a little guy, and he's just running around and he's going for people. There's a couple of screenshots, so we'll look at that first, then we'll look at the trailer a little bit, but I wanted to kind of go into it. So he is tiny. He is officially the tiniest killer in DBD. I love the design. I assume that there will be other cosmetics because our little boy in blue here has appeared in many forms, most notably in Hot Topics and Spencer's in the mid thousands. You'll recognize him with more of a scarred look from several of the movies. In the recent show that he's in, that's been kind of corrected. He's changed dolls a bunch of times. It's a whole thing. I'll get into that after the strike is over and kind of deep dive on Chucky in that way. Right now they're going with the classic look for him, which chef's kiss. He looks great. Everything's correct about him. The nose is, I think, a little too small. And I'll pull up an image in a little bit here. But here's Tiffany, who I think looks spot on. I also appreciate that they gave her, this looks like a bread knife, which makes a lot of sense for if you've ever seen the movie she originates from. But yeah, she looks great. Very excited. They're going to play so well. We've got confirmation of how he will interact with the environment in several ways. So the first thing being, this is how he breaks gens, is he hops up into them and starts stabbing them repeatedly, which obviously they use a lot of animatronics when they make those movies. And one of the kind of like main animatronics they have just kind of around that they use in a lot of those is one that is basically just a doll that shakes back and forth and stabs. And I'm excited to see that kind of play in here. We also see how tiny he is compared to the survivors. He's very small, and he has a slice and dash attack, basically, where he jumps up to stab at the survivors, which makes a lot of sense for the character. So that way he can kind of maintain that chase a little bit. Seems like it's going to play a little like Demogorgon, where it's a bit of a lunge. No clue what the distance looks like yet. There he is next to a hex totem. Tiny little guy. Honestly, it might be a strat just to like get him undetectable and stand near a hex totem and just wait for people to come by. It looks very good. It seems that, and they haven't confirmed this in the article, maybe Behavior will confirm it a little bit later, but that you will have a third person viewpoint for Chucky. A lot of people's concerns with a killer this small was the point of view. How's that going to play? I don't hate this. I don't think it's awful. I think it's probably a fixed third person view on the back of his head like this. So I think this angle is the only angle you get. I don't think that it's the same third person view that the survivors get, where they can rotate the camera around while moving independently. I could be wrong. We'll have to see later if that's what happens. But my best guess is to keep it balanced with the other killers, is that the field of view change is just from a kind of accessibility comfort standpoint and not from a kind of like, oh my God, now the killers are going to be third person. I think this is just to address the fact that he's very tiny. And this helps kind of alleviate some of the weird POV. Though honestly, I would have kind of, I'd enjoy, it'd be cool if you could switch back and forth or something. Here he is. So it seems like, and this is just like in the movies, when he's in chase, he has a different face than when he's not. So he plays doll. He does the whole like Andy's coming thing from Toy Story constantly in the projects he's in. And so he'll have the kind of classic doll face, smiling, all that stuff. And then when he's angry and in chase and he's actually revealed himself to the survivors, he has that kind of like grin or growl looking face to him. So it seems like they're going that route where if you're not actively in chase with him, he'll be kind of like just like do 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 do, like that kind of thing. So love that. Here he is jumping over a window. So for windows, he'll be doing this. He'll be doing this little lunge over thing, which makes sense. He scurries around all the time. Apparently, the understanding is that he will crawl under pallets. He will not climb over pallets. He will crawl under them. Which I'll be curious to see how that plays into like if he can even destroy pallets. They haven't mentioned that in the article. So let's go back to the article real quick. So this is kind of, so Chucky's adept at sneaking around the map. I assume he will have some sort of trait or ability that grants him undetectable. It makes the most sense. He hides under couches, right? Like he's a little guy. Slice and dice is the ability that lets him lunge. His human form, Charles Lee Ray, can assist him in spirit form. I'm assuming this is how they're handling him hooking survivors on the hook. In my head, I would be very happy if it was just him kind of like dragging them by the scruff of their shirt and then scurrying up to the post. I think it's just going to be that the ghost of Charles Lee Ray shows up from behind the hook and like lifts the survivor. It might also be that also is what carries the survivor. It would be kind of disappointing. Who knows? It may be part of his Mori. They just haven't confirmed really. We don't have any video of what specifically he does. And I'll do another quick search before we wrap this up. And then his scamper ability lets him leap through windows and move under pallets. So yeah, it looks great. Let's take a look at the actual trailer for him.
This holiday season comes a toy you'll simply die for. Your new best friend is back with his signature stripes and lifeline.
So like they did, I'm gonna break this down, but they did an excellent job with this model. Chucky's been one of those properties that they haven't quite, there was a kind of like Temple Run style run and coin collect game a couple years ago on mobile, but they haven't really ever nailed a video game for him. There's been a number of attempts in the past, but I think he looks great here.
This guy is always ready.
So this was the big point of contention when the promo image leaked the other day on the 7th. The knife, everybody was like, who could it be? Could it be Norman Bates from Psycho? Could it be an update to Michael Myers? Could it be Springtrap from Five Nights at Freddy's? Obviously, we have the confirmation that it is this character specifically. An interesting point of note is that in that image, the like magnetic cutting rack or knife rack that's on the wall matches the one that is in the Curse of Chucky movie, which was the kind of like soft reboot to the franchise.
For some fun, you'll want to keep an eye on him. You never know what trouble he'll get into next. If you lose track of him, don't fret.
Okay, so there he was scurrying under. I love that. It's also horrifying as a survivor. I'm very excited to not only play as this killer constantly, he will absolutely be my new main. Well, not even if he's trash. If he's trash, I don't care. I'm going to be playing this character constantly. But as a survivor, that's horrifying because it's similar to like Legion's ability to lunge over a pallet really fast, or Wesker's. So we'll have to see kind of what the like slowdown mid chase would be like. But I just love the animation of him crawling around because that's what he do.
He'll always find his way back to you. Bring home your friend till the end. Cause if you don't,
you're dead. You hear me? Dead.
So the character model does look a little bit weird here, right? But I can forgive it because we've got Wagurney Seaver looking like she does. It's close enough, right? He's gone through some changes.
Disassembly of parts, body and otherwise, may be required. The
I
gas is not responsible for maiming, dismemberment,
love
amputation,
it
laceration, strangulation,
so much.
bodily harm, or death of any kind. Adult supervision recommended.
I also really hope that this means that we're going to get at some point another legendary skin of Gigi or Glenn or Glenda, like any combination of the three versions there. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I'll be curious to see. I doubt we'll ever see the version from the reboot that was voiced by Mark Hamill. I doubt we'll ever see that. Two different license holders in that regard. This is clearly based off of the version of him we have in the films now, that has been produced by Don Mancini for the last like 3 decades. I'm really excited. So we'll just do a quick comparison. So here he is again. Flip that image. So here he is in all his glory, right? And let's just bring up from the show so we can just look at what he looks like now, because it is a little different. He goes through variations. It's something that happens all the time. So here we go. So you can see here his nose in the game is definitely a little more smaller. It's a little more like a witch's nose kind of thing. Here it's a bit more bulbous. They got the color on the sweater right, all of that right. The pattern is specifically the same. The overalls look great. So really it is just the face, and it's specifically that nose. And by that nose looking like being that small, it kind of then his upper lip, he kind of looks like a Who from Whoville. But otherwise the hair looks fine. They've gone through several variations with him. But yeah. So I don't know if the PTB is up to date. That's what we'll be streaming later if you're watching this day of. Otherwise, I'm sure you'll see more Chucky DVD content out of me in the next couple of weeks and months here as we get close to the release. But what is your hope for his Mori? Because I know what I'm hoping for, but I want to know, what do you think Chucky and or Tiffany's Mori should be? Because I think it can be identical, especially with what they just did in the show recently. I'm 99.9% certain that it's going to be the voodoo doll kill from the first movie, where he's breaking all the limbs. I think that'd be really interesting. They might, because they just recently did Naughty Bear and gave him his own Mori as a trapper skin. They might give Tiffany her own Mori, and I think that could be really cool too. So let me know what you think. I'm really excited. If you like Dead by Daylight, hey, click that subscribe button, because I post new videos every Friday, usually gameplay clips with friends. We also stream Monday and Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern over on Twitch. We're usually just hanging out. We're chilling. We're having a good time. That's usually the goal, right? We're not here to be super competitive, super edgy, but also, hey, consider giving this a like, because if this is the type of stuff that people want to see, I will gladly continue to make more of it, because yeah, I very much enjoy Dead by Daylight, both the mechanics of the game, but also just the idea of, hey, let's just make basically like Smash Bros, but with horror movie characters. So thanks for watching.